السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. I am مؤيد كمال الدين مبارك الجاك. I want to talk today about social cognitive theory and dependent variable and independent variable. The social cognitive theory (SCT) developed by Albert Bandura explains how personal factors, behavior, and the environment interact to shape human learning and behavior. A key concept is reciprocal determinism, which highlights the dynamic influences these elements have on one another. In social cognitive theory, self-efficacy refers to the belief in your ability to successfully complete a task or achieve a goal. It influences motivation, effort, and persistence when facing challenges. For example, if you believe you can do well in an exam, you are more likely to study effectively and overcome difficulties. This concept highlights how personal belief, shaped by experiences and social influences, play a key role in learning and behavior. About the independent variable and an independent variable. An independent variable is a variable you manipulate or vary in an experimental study to explore its effect. It's called an independent because it is not influenced by any other variables. A dependent variable is a variable that changes as a result of the independent variable manipulation. It is the outcome you are interested in measuring, and it is depend on your independent variable.
The data case includes the complete case with no missing data. This way, deletion was used to ensure all cases had full responses for all scale items. The reliability analysis showed a Chromby alpha of 0.849 for the 4-item scale, indicating strong internal consistency. This means that the items work well together to measure the same concept, making the scale reliable for research. This analysis examines each item contribution to the scale using metrics like the change in the mean and variance if the item is removed. Its alignment with the scale and the impact of reliability. Items that lower consistency or reliability can be identified and considered for removal. The scale statistics include a mean of 16.58, variance of 8.82, standard deviation of 2.97, and 4 items. These summaries give an overview of the scale overall responses distribution. The table shows that all 60 cases were valid with no escalation, meaning the full dataset was used for the reliability analysis. This table shows the reliability of 4 questions. The Chromby alpha is 0.780, which is acceptable since value above 0.7 indicated good reliability. The reliability analysis confirms strong internal consistency, Chromby alpha 0.780, with all items contributing positively. OB4 has the strongest impact on reliability correlation 0.617, while OB2 show moderate relevance with a minimal effect if removed. The statistical metric mean 16.017, variance 7.847, ST 2.801, highlight the importance of retaining all items to maintain their scalability and effectiveness in measuring the construct. The case processing summary shows that all cases were valid with no missing data or exclusion. While deletion method was applied, but it did not impact the sample size since the dataset was complete. This ensures robust and accurate computation. The reliability analysis yielded a Chromby alpha of 0.747, indicating moderate internal consistency and suggests that the 4 items on the scale are reasonable, correlated, and effectively measure the same construct. The analysis showed that all items are important for the scale reliability. The F4 has the strongest impact correlation 0.635 and reduced reliability the most if removed. The F3 also contributes significantly correlation 0.583, while EF2 and EF1 have moderate impact. Overall, all items are necessary to maintain consistency. The analysis includes 60 valid case with no excluded case. This indicates that the dataset is complete and no missing value, making it suitable for variability analysis. The Cronby alpha for scale with 4 item is 0.799, indicating acceptable internal consistency. Typical Cronby alpha value above 0.7 is considered reliable for research purpose, demonstrating that the item measure the same underlying construct cohesively. Overall, the table indicates that all 4 items contribute positively to the scale reliability. However, removing SO2 will result in the largest decrease in reliability, as evident by the small Cronby alpha value 0.776, with SO2 is deleted. Conversely, removing SO3 has the least impact on reliability, with a Cronby alpha of 0.696 when SO3 is deleted. The table shows the key statistic of a scale. The mean score is 15.63, indicating the average value. The variance 8.304 and standard deviation 2.88 show how spread out the score are. The scale is made up of 4 items.
Okay, for the regression, let's review the descriptive statistic for SO, SE, OB, and also EF. Based on the 60 respondents, SE has the highest mean 4.15, followed by the EF 4.01 and the OB 4.00, while the SO scores is the lowest by 3.91. Though still favorable, standard deviation range from 0.68 to 0.74, showing moderate consistency in responses. So overall, SE is the most positively perceived variable. So the correlation analysis reveals strong positive relationship between the SO and also the OB, which are equal to 0.805, P 0.01 is bigger than 0.01, and also the SO and the SEF are equal to 0.822, and the P is larger than 0.001, and the OB and EF R is 0.859, P is larger than 0.001. So in contrast, SE shows weak and non-significant correlation with the others variable. So this suggesting it's operate independently within the dataset. So finally, a multiple regression analysis was conducted with the SO as the dependent variable and EF, SE, and also the OB as predictors. Using the enter method, all predictors were included to evaluate their collective and individual contributions to explaining XO. So the key findings will be discussed next. Next is the regression model summary. The regression model shows a strong relationship between the independent variable EF, SE, and also the OB, and the dependent variable the SO with an R value of 0.847. The model explained that 71.7% of the variance in the SO, which is the R2 of 0.717, and the adjusted R2 is the 0.702, indicating a good fit. The standard error is 0.39351, and the F statistic of 47.249 is highly significant, which means the P is less than 0.001. The W-Watson value of 1.696 suggests no severe autocorrelation in the residuals, confirming that the model robustness. So next is the ANOVA results. The ANOVA table shows that the model explains of a significant portion of the variance in the SO. The regression sum of squares is 21.949 compared to a total sum of squares of 30.621 with a mean of with a mean square of 7.316 for the regression and 0.155 for the residuals. So the F statistic of 47.249, which has the P is less than 0.001, confirms that the strong predictive power of EF, SE, and also the OB. So next is the coefficient summary. So the coefficients table reveals that EF and OB as significant predictors of the SO. So the EF has the highest unstandardized coefficient with 0.541 and the standardized beta 0.511, followed by the OB unstandardized 0.367, and also the beta is 0.357. Both are statistically significant with P equal to 0.001 and another P is 0.014. So the SE has a small non-significant contribution. So the coefficient equals to 0.063 and the P and the alpha is 0.375. So no multicollinearity issues are present here. So S tolerance value are above 0.2 and the VIF below than 10. So these findings highlight that EF and OB as a key drivers of the SO. Next is the collineatory diagnostic. The collineatory diagnostic highlight the potential multi-collineatory in the model. So the eigenvalues shows that most variance is the concentrated in the first dimension with 3.950, while the smaller eigenvalues indicate shared variance among predictors. So the condition in the size range from 1.000 to 31.916 with the third and the fourth dimensions exceeding the threshold of 15. So that's suggesting moderate to high multicollineatory. So the variance proportion shows that SE, OB, and EF share substantial variance in the fourth dimension, where OB and EF contribute 91% and 55%, respectively. Although the multicollineatory is present, it is not severe enough to invalidate the model, but should be considered when interpreting the result. Next, the residual statistic. The residual statistic confirm that the model accuracy and predicted SO values range from 2.397 to 4.863 with a mean of 3.908, closely matching the observed mean. Residuals range from negative 1.210 to 0.816 with a mean of 0.000, indicating no bias in this prediction. So the residual standard deviation is 0.383, and the standardized residuals falls within acceptable limits with negative 3.076 to 2.075 with no extreme outliers. This result suggests a good model fit with residuals symmetrically distributed around 0. Now I will explain about this histogram. This histogram shows that the distribution of regression standardized residuals for the dependent variable SO. The data follows a near normal distribution indicated by the bell-shaped curve with residuals symmetrically distributed around 0. The mean is approximately 0, 8.14 times 10 to the negative 16, and the sample size is 60. The result confirms that the model meets the assumption of normality for the residuals, enhancing its reliability and validity.
The normal PP plot of regression standardized residual show how well the residual follow a normal distribution. The points are mostly close to the diagonal line, indicating the residual are approximately normal. While there are minor deviation at the end, they are not significant, meaning the normally assumption for regression is met and the model fit the data well.
For hypothesis, the null hypothesis HO posits that there is no significant relationship between the independent variable and the dependent variable, meaning all regression coefficients are 0. The alternative hypothesis H1 suggests that at least one independent variable has a significant effect on the dependent variable. The F statistic is 47.249 and the p-value is 0.0 given the p-value is less than significant level of 0.5. We reject the null hypothesis. Rejecting the null hypothesis means that there is enough evidence to conclude that at least one independent variable significantly affects the dependent variable. The regression model is statistically significant, meaning it explains the variation in the dependent variable and the independent variable are not all 0. The p-value of 0.0 confirms that the model is significant at the 0.5 level.